Holistic Habits. So excited that you're watching these videos. We wanted to create these as a practical tool for implementing behaviors that we believe will aid in the whole of you being formed into the whole of Him. So what I wanted to talk about is the idea of Sabbath. Now, I believe it's an idea today where a lot of us, we don't realize that we need rest more than we prioritize rest. And what I mean by that is rest is not just sleeping in. It's not just a day off, but we're on our phones, running errands, all those things. We just don't have to work 9 to 5. But rest in Scripture is something that is biblically mandated and also pronounced blessing over. Actually, the very first time the word holiness is used is in connection to the word Sabbath. Not only that, which I think is important, not only that though, is that if you think about the 10 Commandments, right? No other gods before me. Honor your parents. Don't kill. Don't steal, right? A forgotten one, keep the Sabbath holy. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to challenge you. Do you have a Sabbath rhythm or a Sabbath routine? And what that looks like for me and my wife is she drew up a list, I drew up a list, we put our list together, and we agreed that on a certain day, our goal was to rest as intentionally as we possibly could. So what that looks like for us is a day without technology, and by technology, I turn my phone off and kind of put it in a shelf in the house. Now, we do permit if we want to watch a movie, we'll watch a movie, but for the most part, we do that entire day without social media or without our cell phones. The second thing is that we really focus on things that we feel like will be restful to us, and not just restful to ourselves as sleep or eating, because we do sleep in, and we usually go out to eat at least one time during that day to a restaurant that we know will be super good. But also, Sabbath rest is about our spirits being rebuilt up. So we always have a time of reading Scripture and of praying, making sure that we're doing things that aren't just restful to our physical selves, but also our spiritual selves. So our goal is to kind of curate this day in which we're hyper intentional about things that we know bring us life. So I love to golf. However, I also know that I don't want to golf 18 holes because it might be 4.5 hours, which is most of the day. But I might go to the range for an hour and a half. My wife, she likes to thrift. We might go to a thrift store. We're going to get some good food. We're going to sleep. We might watch a movie. And my goal is the night before, we clean the house. We make sure everything's ready. So the next day, the only thing we have to do is be mindful that we're resting in Him. So I want to encourage you to be somebody who's that intentional about Sabbath rest. What does it mean for you to completely withdraw from your productivity-based mind and trust that He can produce more than you ever could? And that, I think, is the truth about how deep rest can go, is that if you recognize that He's the producer, then you might find that you can rest deeper knowing that it's not you who produces. So I want to challenge you, like I said, one day a week, a list of things. Have somebody to hold you accountable to that, but practice Sabbath and keep it holy, and you might find out that you start to feel a little of that holiness.